Happy Friday and welcome to another episode of Tiger Cub News. I'm Gabe. Today's show was produced by the Broadcast Journalism A class rather than the regular TCN team. Saturday marks the 1-year anniversary of South Pasadena schools shutting down. Our big news of the week is that LA County is poised to move into the red tier soon and limited capacity in-person instruction can resume. In other words, secondary schools are reopening. Last week, the SPUSD school board set SPMS's reopening date as Thursday, April 8th, after we come back from spring break. Although a hybrid bell schedule was voted on last summer, the details are still being negotiated. Stay tuned to TCN for more information as it is made available. In the meantime, cut that hair, dig out those school clothes, and don't forget to roll your clocks forward this Sunday as daylight savings begins. Enjoy the show.
I'm Paige Tang here with some local hangout places. Today we are taking a look at a popular place for people to get fresh produce, the farmer's market. After taking a stroll around the lively place, I found all kinds of different products. I found veggies, fruits, flowers, houseplants, foods, cheeses, pastas, bread, and so much more. Essentially what you would find in your regular grocery store. We even found the ingredients for trendy dishes like feta pasta. That includes 2 pints of cherry tomatoes, 1 block of feta cheese, half a cup of olive oil, salt and pepper to taste, 3 cloves of garlic, and pasta. Aside from the pasta, put the ingredients in a baking dish, give them a mix, and pop that into the oven at 400 degrees for 35 minutes. Lastly, mix in the pasta, and there you go. Delicious feta pasta. So if you aren't busy next Thursday, check out the farmer's market for eating, strolling around, or groceries of all sorts.
The Chinese legend of Mulan, turned into the iconic Disney movie in 1998, was remade into a live-action film released in September of last year. The main protagonist, Mulan, decides to disguise herself as a man in order to protect her father from getting hurt in the war.
The 1998 film had many differences from the live-action one. It was based on less realistic things, one of which included a character named Mushu who accompanied Mulan in war. The movie includes now many iconic songs like Reflection and I'll Make a Man Out of You. It also has a strong plot and told a good story. However, the action scenes were short and mostly focused on the aftermath of the battle rather than the battle itself.
The live-action version was technically more historically accurate, however the plot was weaker and it was a little too long. One major difference was the side and background characters. For example, Mushu the dragon was not included in the most recent interpretation. Disney also cut out most of the songs of the movie, which were some of the best parts in the original Mulan. Despite all of this, one thing significantly better than the original were the action scenes, especially the last fight sequence between Mulan and the main antagonist, which was well choreographed and did its job well.
Overall, we think that the 1998 film was better than the 2020 remake. The plot was more stable and the main protagonist was more relatable and told a better story. The animated movie also kept you hooked the entire time, whereas the plot sagged a little in the live-action one.
Art Program Reviews with Elsie Huang and Alex G.
Hi, I'm Elsie and I'm joined by Alex. Today we're doing a review and tutorial on the drawing app Procreate. When you open the app, you can make a new canvas. You do this by pressing the plus button at the top of the screen. Click on it and choose the type of canvas you'd like. After you open the canvas, you'll see a top bar with different tools. The 5 on the top left-hand corner are what you should focus on. The paintbrush tool contains all different types of brushes you can use. They all categorize, so take your pick. The next tool is the blending tool, represented with a hand icon. This tool uses each brush to blend colors instead of drawing them. Next, we have the eraser. The eraser tool erases anything and comes with different varieties of brushes. Then we have the square icon. This tool is for all the layers. Layers can be best described as transparent sheets of plastic that are put on top of each other. You can make new layers by pressing the plus button in the top left-hand corner. Lastly, we have our color tool. This circle represents what color you're currently using to draw. Click on it and you can choose whatever color you want. Now moving on to the panels on the side. The top one adjusts the size of your brush while the bottom one adjusts the opacity. Finally, we have the undo and redo button. Click with 2 fingers to undo a mistake and 3 fingers to redo your undo. Procreate is available for $10 exclusively on the App Store, so if you know not everyone is willing to pay $10, there are other drawing apps available for free too, such as Sketchbook, Curita, and IBAS Paint. However, Procreate is the optimal decision for a more professional and easy finish. Thanks for watching.
Hi, I'm Izzy, and I'm gonna do a segment on climate change with my group, including Serena Lau and Giselle and Senius.
Climate change has led to extreme weather events. In Texas, there was recently a winter storm that Texans were not prepared for. This left millions without water and power for days. Texas had mainly hot and humid climates and were prepared for heat waves rather than ice storms. It got so cold that water pipes froze and some bursted.
In California last year, over 4 million acres of land were burned. 2020 was a record year for California wildfires. California suffered heat waves and hot, dry conditions that led to droughts as well as fires. The warmer and drier climate conditions have set California with more intense fires and droughts. Less rain is falling and snow is melting earlier. Since 2000, the western U.S. has experienced a mega drought. Summers in California have warmed by 2 to 3 degrees Fahrenheit.
This is Nayeli Romero. Thanks for joining me. After Donald Trump's second acquittal in an impeachment trial by the Senate, his case has been passed over to the Manhattan District Attorney for accusations of tax fraud. According to a report by NBC New York, the Manhattan DA's office has recently obtained Trump's tax returns. After the Supreme Court voted 7-2 to deny the Trump legal team's request to keep immunity for his tax records back in June, the case was sent back to lower courts. Later, in October, a federal appeals court also stated that, quote, "There is nothing to suggest that these are anything but run-of-the-mill documents typically relevant to a grand jury investigation into possible financial or corporate misconduct." Although there has been no confirmation of what exactly the DA has been looking for, it is speculated by NBC New York, who broke the story that the DA's office had officially obtained records, that the office will be looking into records involving property valuations, tax benefits, and loan paperwork. According to the Washington Post and the New York Times, the Manhattan District Attorney is also looking into the Trump Organization's chief financial officer, Alan Weisselberg, for more information on company spending and tax returns. It should also be noted that the Supreme Court, around the time of denying the Trump legal team's request for immunity involving tax records, rejected Stormy Daniels' defamation suit against Donald Trump. There are mixed opinions about how the trial will go. Some legal experts say that even if the tax returns do incriminate Trump, his legal team will be able to lower his sentence or reduce charges. Others say that the obtained tax records are detrimental to the defense and ensure a win for the prosecution. At the time this script is being written, the court has made no decisions involving the case and are not expected to by reputable news outlets. Thank you for tuning in. This has been Nayeli Romero.
This is how to make stickers step by step. The supplies that you will need for this is a small image, either printing or drawing, scotch tape, and it specifically has to be clear and doesn't matter what size, scissors, and parchment paper. That's all you need. To start off, I'm setting down a piece of parchment paper. Then I'm going to be putting a layer of tape over that parchment paper, sticky side facing down. Then I put the image over it, which I did cut out previously, and I put a layer of tape over that. The final part to this is pretty much just cutting it out, and you cut it out the exact same way that you did when you first printed it out or drew it out. Then we're all done with our first sticker. This next clip is a time lapse of another sticker that I made, and it's from the show The Bear Bears. So that's all. This is pretty much all you have to do, and it's the same exact steps as before. This is a preview of all the stickers that I made, and a majority of these stickers, the actual images were got off of a website called Pinterest. you have to do to actually use the sticker is to carefully peel off the parchment paper on the back. Be careful to not peel up the tape. And all of these items are super inexpensive, and you can use the stickers really anywhere, like on notebooks, computers, water bottles, whichever you may like. This is the final look of all the stickers I made, and I hope you enjoyed this video.
First off, did you know that there is one letter that cannot be found in any state's name? This letter is Q. Although J can be found in New Jersey, Z can be found in Arizona, and X can be found in New Mexico and Texas, Q cannot be found in any US state's name. Secondly, birds bob their heads in order to stabilize visual surroundings. While us humans depend on eye movement, birds depend on head movement to hold images presented to us while moving. And finally, horseradish gets its name from a mistranslation. The original word was Meerrettisch, which was German for sea radish. However, the English started pronouncing Meer as mare, leading to mare radish, and finally, horseradish.